Cleveland Indians' 22-game win streak over after 4-3 loss to Royals. With a 3-2 walk-off victory over the Kansas City Royals on Thursday, the Cleveland Indians extended their historic winning streak to 22 games. That topped the longest American League win streak, which was the Oakland Athletics streak of 20 wins in a row set in 2002. That also topped the post-19th century MLB record of 21 uninterrupted wins set in 1935 by the Chicago Cubs. However, with a 4-3 loss to the Royals on Friday, the Indians' streak came to an end. Cleveland Indians' historic win streak ends at 22. Pitching has been dominant over the 22-game stretch, as Indian pitchers have given up more than 3 runs only 3 times. They have had 7 shutouts over the period and have outscored their opponents 142-37. While the winning streak began on August 24th, their hot streak began on August 11th. Since then, the Indians have gone 31-5. Over that period, the Tribe has overcome a 9-game deficit on the Houston Astros for the top seed in the American League. After their 22nd win on Thursday, they moved ahead of the Astros by 2.5 games. They also extended their division lead to 13.5 games over the Minnesota Twins with 15 remaining at the time. The Indians were able to break the A's and Cubs records during their series with the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers, having traded away Justin Verlander, J.D. Martinez and Justin Upton, and with Victor Martinez on the 60-day DL, gave the Indians a perfect opportunity to make the streak even more historic. The Indians also just completed a 4-game sweep over the Tigers in Detroit at the beginning of the month. Moving ahead, the Indians continue their 4-game series with the Royals on Saturday. The Indians swept the Royals in 3 games without giving up a single run at the end of August. While the streak may be over, the Indians have put themselves in a great playoff position as the season rapidly comes to an end. St. Petersburg, the Red Yankees were fined an undisclosed amount Friday by Major League Baseball for using technology to steal signs. The Red Sox, who were caught using an Apple Watch in the dugout, received a larger fine. Our investigation revealed that clubs have employed various strategies to decode signs that do not violate our rules, Commissioner Rob Manfred said in a statement. The Red Sox's strategy violated our rules because of the use of an electronic device. The money will be donated to Hurricane Irma relief in Florida since both teams hold spring training in the state. Red Sox president Dave Dombrowski said the amount of Boston's fine was what he expected. He said the team will not conduct an internal investigation. I know what happened, so no, we don't have to do any more investigation, and there won't be any internal fines, Dombrowski said from Tropicana Field, where his team opened a series against the Rays. The topic's been discussed internally and addressed, and I'm sure it will not happen again. The Yankees complained to MLB that the Red Sox were relaying signs from the Yankee catchers to the Red Sox hitters with the use of an Apple Watch worn in the dugout by a trainer. The Red Sox then complained that the Yankees were using their TV feed to steal Red Sox signs. MLB's investigation didn't find evidence of that, but did find evidence the Yankees used the dugout phone while stealing signs in previous seasons. MLB rules prohibit handheld devices in the dugout, which is why the Red Sox were hit with the larger fine. All 30 clubs have been notified that future violations of this type will be subject to more serious sanctions, including the possible loss of draft picks, Manfred said. High praise indeed. The record-setting Indians have earned the admiration of an old rival, former Tigers manager Jim Leyland. Not at the Tigers' expense, obviously, but I'm enjoying the Cleveland run, Leyland, 72. Said. I think it's exciting. It's great for the city of Cleveland. It's great for baseball. Cleveland entered Friday's game against the Royals on a 22-game win streak, an American League record that has become the biggest story in sports. Numbers of the day. 5 switch hitters in history with 50 doubles in a season. The Indians' Jose Ramirez on Thursday joined Brian Roberts 3 times, Lance Berkman, Jose Vidro, and Pete Rouse 19 times during their 22-game win streak that the Indians have scored first. They did again Friday against the Royals in a game that was not over by press time. Quotable: "It's not ideal, it's not what we planned, but at the same time we're talking about ramifications of a hurricane coming through our home city." Adam Conley, Marlins pitcher, on returning from what wound up a 10-game road trip, extended by 3 games by Hurricane Irma. Extras. Major League Baseball ruled that the Tigers and RHP Buck Farmer did not intend to throw a pitch that struck plate umpire Quinn Wolcott in the shoulder and knocked him to the ground Wednesday. Cubs SS Addison Russell said he's pain-free and hopes to play this weekend after being sidelined since August 2 because of plantar fasciitis in his right foot. Brewers RHP Jimmy Nelson will have season-ending surgery Tuesday on his injured right shoulder. Mets RHP Noah Syndergaard, who has not pitched since suffering a torn lat muscle on April 30, will be evaluated today and could be in line for a game appearance next week. Tribe has fingers crossed on Lonnie Chisenhall's calf injury. Cleveland, Ohio. The outfield has been jumbled all season for the Indians, so why would anyone think it was going to change just because the team took a 22-game winning streak into Friday night's game against the Royals at Progressive Field? Lonnie Chisenhall left Thursday's game with a tight right calf after 5 innings. He was on the disabled list from July 10 through August 31 with a strained right calf. The Indians are already without Michael Brantley, right ankle, and Bradley Zimmer, broken left hand. It's doubtful Zimmer will be able to play until spring training, and there is still no timetable for Brantley's return because he hasn't been able to run except on an altered, non-weight-bearing, treadmill. The Indians have a starting right fielder in Jay Bruce and a lot of guys bouncing between center and left field. The last thing they need is to put Chisenhall back on the shelf. The outfield is so depleted that Jason Kipnis, a 2-time All-Star second baseman, is scheduled to come off the disabled list and start in center field on Sunday. Lonnie came in today, Friday, not feeling any worse, so that's good, said manager Terry Francona. We're going to let him get examined and we're all hoping that this is a day-to-day thing. Chisenhall, despite being on the disabled list 3 times this year, has been one of the Indians' most consistent hitters and defenders. He just hasn't been in the lineup a whole lot. The Indians played their 148th game on Friday. Chisenhall has played in only 78. I think the trainers feel like it's just a day-to-day injury, said Francona. Asked when it happened, Francona said, I think he felt it when he was stretching. He ran really well in the game. Somebody came down to my end of the bench and told me. I went down and talked to him and said, hey, this is not the time to be re-aggravating something. He said he was fine, but when he sat during the inning he told me, hey, I'm going to try and be smart about this. Regarding Brantley, who has not played since August 8, Francona said, there's nothing new to report right now. He's still at that one point where he's not able to get out and do that ground-based stuff. He's frustrated. We all feel for him, but there's just nothing else to report. Friday's lineup had Bruce in right field, rookie Greg Allen in center and Austin Jackson in left. Stir-crazy Bradley Zimmer rejoins team. Made his way into the clubhouse on Friday. His left hand was in a cast and braced in an elevated position. When a reporter approached him, he wasn't allowed to talk to the media. Mentally, he's good, said Francona. He said he just wants to sit in the dugout because he's going to lose his mind sitting at home. The trainers don't want him getting jostled. I said go talk to them. If I need to overrule somebody, I will. The fact that he wants to be around is good. I think it's healthy for him to be around. Zimmer underwent surgery on the hand after he was stepped on by Baltimore's Chris Davis on Sunday night as he slid headfirst into first base. Andrew Miller, Jason Kipnis in line to play Sunday. Sunday is going to be a big day for Andrew Miller and Kipnis. Miller will make his second appearance since coming off the disabled list, and Kipnis will play center field for the first time since he was converted to second base in 2010. Miller pitched a scoreless inning on Thursday night, his first appearance since August 21. He threw 11 pitches, 9 for strikes, gave up 2 bloop singles and got Alex Gordon to hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Andrew came out of Thursday really well, said Francona. Not only was it nice to see him pitch, but it was really nice to see him show up the next day and be fine with no ramifications. He'll be all set to pitch on Sunday again, said Miller. I felt much better than the last time I came off the DL. I'm happy with it. Glad I got in there. I would love to not give up base hits, but actually it ended up working out perfect. I had to pitch through some emotion and make some pitches. I threw 11 pitches, but some of were with slightly higher stress. I got to face some really good hitters. To come in and face Mike Moustakas right off the bat. I couldn't have scripted it any better. Francona said the trainers still have to clear Kipnis to be activated, but it sounded like that was a formality. Kipnis, who played center field at Arizona State before the Indians drafted him in 2009, is expected to play 5 innings on Sunday. The Indians want to see as much as possible of him in center so they can make a decision on their postseason roster. He has been on the disabled list with a strained right hamstring. Money in the bank. The Tribe has been able to play a lot of its young players this month, and it's not just because of the expanded roster. The Indians, who clinched a playoff berth on Thursday night, have had the luxury of owning a big lead in the AL Central and have had enough injuries where they've had to fill holes in the lineup. Here's how many games Tribe rookies have appeared in during the 22-game winning streak they took into Friday night. Allen, 11 games. Yandy Diaz, 19. Eric Gonzalez, 11. Francisco Mejia, 7. Ryan Merritt, 2. Tyler Olson, 9. And Giovanni Urshela, 21. Francona said any experience prospects can get in September is like putting money in the bank. It has helped that as the streak has grown, so has the importance and the pressure of the games. The experience for some of our young guys is incredible right now, said Francona. They're learning on the job right smack in the middle of this. It's really good. Update on the Gray Cloud. Francona was asked early in the week if there were certain people he didn't talk to the winning streak for fear they'd jinx it. He referred to one friend as the Gray Cloud and said he had avoided talking to him at all costs. He's a text only, said Francona. But after the Indians won their 21st straight game on Wednesday, Francona not only revealed the identity of the Gray Cloud, but said he talked to him. The dark cloud is Tubby Kinenberg, the baseball coach at Utah. He said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" said Francona. I said, "I haven't talked to you in 3 weeks." Francona and Kinenberg were teammates at the University of Arizona. On Friday, Francona said he texted Kinenberg after the Indians won their 22nd straight game, the longest winning streak in the big leagues in over 100 years. He texted me back and said he was recruiting in Canada, said Francona. He said I cost him 3 recruits.